Hello everyone, welcome to this week's Gran Turismo 7 Daily Race and Strategy Guide, and we are off to Circuit de Spa Francorchamps, the standard layout, and we are in Group 3 machinery. We've got 10 laps to get round, so pretty decent race length for sure. Timer at ×5, fuel at ×2, it's the racing soft and the racing hard tyres. Both compounds are mandatory. There is a compulsory pit stop in there as well, but obviously you have to run both compounds, so that compulsory pit stop is covered by that. Anyway, BOP is on, damage is light, it's a rolling start, and slipstream is custom. For your settings allowed, we just have the brake balance. It's been a wee while since we've been to Spa in Group 3 in Daily Race C. I think it was 4 months ago where we had the longer race, the 20 lap race with the inclement weather making a frequent appearance. So it is a little bit different this one, there is some things to talk through. So let's get on to the racetrack. We jumped into the very first race of the week, 8 o'clock in the morning here in the UK, and it's a pretty stacked field with a lot of very familiar names. But an old problem of Spa is going to rear its head very early in this one, and that is the rolling start. If you are kind of below round about P10, you start behind the chicane or on the chicane, and by the time everybody gets going, everybody gets up to speed, the car in last place is nearly 10 seconds off the front, so not ideal. Obviously the fix for this is to use a grid start, but yes, we've been saying that for about the last 5 years because the rolling start has long been an issue here at Spa, and Polyphone and Digital have never really listened or changed it, so not ideal. As I said, we're going to jump forward here to the end of lap 1. You can see we've been left adrift of the 3 drivers in front of. It doesn't help with the fact that there's 3 very fast drivers indeed. There's also a Porsche that's made a pit stop at the end of lap 1 from the hard tyres onto the soft tyres, and that was definitely going to be a mistake. However, we do get a little bit of company after Sammy Snake Racing has a little bit of an incident into Les Combes. And that gives me the perfect opportunity to segue into a new part of these Gran Turismo 7 Daily Race and Strategy Guides, and that is going to be Womble's weekly custom slipstream rant. Now, I hope you like that professional introduction, but yes, what can we say? We end up here behind Sammy Snake Racing in the custom slipstream. Now, Sammy is a much faster driver than me, and yet I could easily just stick to the back of his car. To be honest with you, going through the corners, I actually felt like I had medium tyres at some points because, you know, the boost you get from this custom slipstream is just absolutely ridiculous. People like it, I hate it. I think it ruins the racing, but it's going to be a big feature of this week's race. But yes, this has been Womble's weekly custom slipstream rant. Thank you for suffering through it once again. I'll suffer through it for the week doing the races. Anyhows, let's get back to the race. It's lap 5 now, we're coming up to the midpoint, and thanks to Sammy Snake's custom slipstream and the pull that we've been getting along for the last 3 laps, we have caught up to Shelty in the Supra. Sammy goes for the move down in the inside of Puon. We've moved up to P9 courtesy of some drivers making a mistake on the strategy. Some people, well, we've seen the Greek driver pit on lap 1. I think somebody pitted on lap 2, a few people have pitted on lap 3, and a few people have pitted on lap 4. Anybody who's pitted on laps 1, 2 and 3 are definitely going to be in big trouble because their soft tyres are not going to last. If you pitted on lap 4, as I think Tidgney did in this one, then you are very much going to be on the borderline. Now, I'm not entirely sure what happens between Shelty and Sammy there. Sammy gets bumped a little bit wide, we go up the inside, moves us up into P8, and we are going to pit at the end of this lap. Now, I had no idea how long the soft tyres were going to last, but I was just waiting on the drivers at the front coming into the pits because that was all the information that we needed. So you can see P1, 2 and 3 on the soft tyres have come into the pits at the end of lap 5. So we know these soft tyres will last 5 laps, or we should be pretty confident. We're not in the same car, we're not got the same driving style, we should be pretty confident if people can start the race on the soft tyres, do 5 laps, then we should be able to do the second stint on the soft tyres for 5 laps with the lower fuel and the lower starting tyre temperature. So into the pits we come, and we're going to put on those soft tyres. Now, the pit sequence of the pit loss at Spa is traditionally pretty long. and this week is no exception at all. But into the bit box we get the tyres changed, out we come, and your pit loss is going to come in at around about 25 seconds. Fuel's going to be no issue whatsoever in this one. So out of the pits we come, we've got Sammy behind us after that little incident with TCR Shelty, and we are going to get a little bit of a tank slapper going up over the hill. We just get it on the curb there, we have to come off the throttle, kind of slide the car a little bit, not ideal, and it does allow Sammy to get a run on us. Now, I actually lift off the throttle here just to make sure that you can get into the corner ahead of my car, because there's no point losing time going side by side. And I enjoyed the custom slipstream that I got so much in the first half, I thought I might as well just spend the entire second half of the race in that custom slipstream. We do lose it for a little bit here, courtesy of coming up across Skelco Games. Now, he started on the soft tyres, on the hard tyres. Now, there's the Greek driver that pitted at the end of lap 1, dying on their tyres, and we're going to get the move done on Skelco down the can't remember the name of the straight, that's terrible, the Kemmel straight, that's the one, and back into the slipstream of Sammy. So we jump forward here to lap 9, we've moved up into P12. I think there was a Lexus that pitted on lap 2 that pitted again. We've got Blue Racer here who pitted on lap 3, and he has ran out of tyres in his Mercedes. That allows us to move up into P11, and well, not the worst result ever if we could stay here, given we started down in P16 and we were off the back of the field from the very first corner. So a P11 wouldn't be too bad, but I was pretty confident there was a few drivers up ahead who were still to run into some tyre troubles. We've still got our nice comfort zone here, a nice comfy place sitting behind Sammy's McLaren, and sure enough there was an Alfa Romeo of Shadow who I think also pitted on lap 3, who has now got no tread whatsoever on their tyres, which allows us to move up to P10, which I don't think was a terrible result, all things taken into account. You can see there really wasn't another lap in those front tyres on this Mercedes either, so 5 laps is really the maximum we would want to be doing in this car. 23 minutes 48 seconds for the winner, so an unusual length for Daily Race C, and one where you have to be very quick to get into the next race as well, so do bear that in mind. Don't go hanging about in the chat, get yourself into the next race if that is your plan. So let's quickly cover the strategy in this one. It looks complicated, but it's actually pretty simple. Kind of optimal strategy is going to be 5 laps on the soft, 5 laps on the hard tyres. If you're starting anywhere below P1 or 2, you want to be starting on those hard tyres. And yeah, you can maybe stretch things a little bit either way. There is a possibility in the right car with the right driving style of doing 6 laps on the soft tyres, but they will be absolutely dead. 5-5 does seem optimal. If you're really bad on the tyres, then maybe you want to do that 6 lap on the hard tyres and do 4 laps on the soft tyres. Max Power actually did that strategy in that race and went from P11 I think on lap 8 up to P4, but yeah, very fast driver and loves this track, but he got the strategy spot on there. Certainly worked out pretty well from him, starting down in P15. Great job from Max as always. But that's pretty much the strategy in this one. Decent enough race, to be honest with you. They kind of started off pretty well with the settings, you know, Spa, Group 3, nobody's really going to complain about that one. 10 laps, good race length. Starts to go downhill a little bit after there. Custom slip sucks. The kind of soft and hard tyre divide doesn't really work, to be perfectly honest with you, because you instantly just work out how many laps you can do in the soft tyres, and then you run the soft tyres for the maximum amount of laps that they will live, because even a sort of 25% worn soft tyre is going to have similar, if not better pace than a fresh hard tyre. So yeah, the sort of soft hard tyre split doesn't really work for me. The rolling start is a little bit of an annoyance as well. Grid start would have worked well here. But yeah, all in all, the Span Group 3, people are going to like it. Custom slipstream is going to keep things entertaining if you're watching people streaming. It is what it is. I'll give this one 6 out of 10, and most of that just comes down to the fact that it's a bit of, you know, one of the best kind of car and track combinations out there. The settings, to be honest with you, are a bit shite. The rolling start's rubbish, the custom slipstream sucks, and the tyre where settings actually just mean strategy is very one-dimensional. But yes, thank you very much for watching, thank you very much for listening, thank you very much for suffering through this video. If you've made it to this point, I really do appreciate it, and especially those people that keep watching these racing strategy guides week in, week out. I'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye now.